Welcome to the Prosperity Blueprint. I want to thank you for being here. This is a lesson that's going to do so much for you in your life, raise your awareness, elevate your consciousness. And this is what we need in the world today because we are inundated with information constantly. There's literally an overload of information. It's right at your fingertips. Go on social media, on your TV, streaming services. There's so much information these days, but we're really starving for wisdom. That's what we really want, because we all want to live a better life. Happiness, health, wealth, prosperity. This is the Prosperity Blueprint. And I'm going to share things with you in here that's going to totally open your eyes to how you've been living and introduce new ideas to you so that you can become more aware and change those things in your life. Because it starts with you becoming aware. It starts with the change. It starts with making a decision. Nothing happens overnight. That's the difference. And that's what I want to talk with you about here on the Prosperity Blueprint, the first part of the Prosperity Blueprint. Now, true prosperity is happiness, health, and wealth. Those three words. Happiness, health, and wealth. How happy are you? How great of health are you in? What is your wealth like? Take a look at the results in your life in those three areas specifically and determine where you are. Because we must be clear and we must be honest with ourselves to really understand what are the results in our lives. And if they're not what we want, then we have to change them. Now, let's start the Prosperity Blueprint by getting on our feet. Let's loosen up the body, get the energy flowing. So if you're sitting down, get up. Let's go ahead and just start wiggling it out. Start moving around. Start shaking your body. Just get that energy loose. Now I'm going to do these while I'm seated so you can see me. But I want you to take your hands like this. And I want you to put them here, right at your temples, right on the side of your head. And I want you to keep your elbows in like this. Your feet are about a fist width apart, and you point them inward. And you're going to open, stretch out the shoulders. We're going to do this about 10 times. Just stretch out the body. It's always good to get loose, get flowing. Now, keep that same grip. And you're going to point your palms down, and you're going to do arm circles forward while pinching your shoulders back. This is essential. If we want to really learn, we want to understand this information, apply it, we must be loose, be in the right frequency to take it in. Now flip it over and do them backwards. Palms are facing up. Now everything is mind, body, spirit. It's a collective. It's a whole. We must be taking in the right information, but also having our body be in the right state. Because if we're not in the right state, we're not going to be willing to take in the information. We're not going to be able to actually soak it in because we're going to reject it if we're not in the right state. So our body is so important in this process. Now take a moment to silence, do not disturb on your iPhone or on your cell phone. Write down questions for the comments section. I'll be answering questions once the video is posted. And also take notes. Take an infinite amount of notes. Rewind this. go back again, take as many notes as you can so you really understand. Because when you write down what it is that you learned or you are learning, it's creating another mechanism of your engagement. It's causing you to write it. It's causing you to read it. Maybe you say it. It's further impressing that on your subconscious mind so that you really understand, you really soak it in. Because the first time you go through this, it may trigger a few things in you to understand. But if you go through this 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you're going to understand it more and more at a deeper and deeper level. So take as many notes as possible, write down your questions, and put your phone on Do Not Disturb or on silent mode so that you can be fully engaged to understand and make the most out of this experience. Because your time is time spent. It's invested. You're not going to get this time back. So rather than rush to do something else, I'd suggest that you stay on here until the very end so that you get the most out of this. Because the reason why you're not getting the results that you want in your life is because you aren't following through. You're not following through on anything. You won't even watch a video till the end because you're shifting your attention. How much do you think you can really get done if you're always shifting your attention? Changing your focus. It's everything. So take as many notes as possible, write down some questions for the comments section. I'm going to be looking forward to answering those for you once the video is posted. Now, how did I get here? How did I get here? I was in high school not doing very well. I was not doing my homework, not taking tests. My grades were not doing well. I got D's and F's. I was not doing well in school, and safe to say, my parents were not very happy with me during that time. But some time went on, and it got to be the end of my senior year, and all my friends were telling me they were going to San Francisco, New York, Texas, Miami, UC Santa Barbara, all these different schools. And every time I'd hear someone say something, I'd really question, oh my gosh, where am I going? I don't know where I'm going yet. Well, that's not good. I didn't even take the SAT, ACT. I did not apply myself. And some time went on. To the end of my senior year, I realized, oh my gosh, I need to go to a community college because I don't have the grades to get into a university. That's my only option. So I got into community college, went there for about a semester, started to realize it was more of the same. I was not getting the results I wanted. I wasn't interested in school. I wasn't interested in a major. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And at that time, I decided, my dad had a real estate brokerage. I said, you know what? Why don't I get involved with him? This is the best option for me to be successful in life, make something of myself. So I got my real estate license, started working with him, and things were going great. I was making money, living a great life. But some time went on, and I realized, is this really what I want to do? I just kept hearing this voice. Is this really what I want to do with my life? And I continued to question that. I didn't know what the answer was. I knew it wasn't what I really wanted to do, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then about 7, 8 years in, I had 2 properties listed, and my fiance told me, why don't you go and pitch these properties at a real estate caravan? For those of you who don't know what a real estate caravan is, it's a real estate meeting where real estate agents and other affiliates in the real estate industry get together. They talk about the local market, rentals, listings, buyers, sellers. And it's a good way to network. So I thought, okay, great. I'm going to go there and I'm going to share these 2 properties. Fantastic. So I go there, I start meeting some people, and I'm shy. Now, this was about a year and a half ago. I'm shy, I'm uncomfortable with myself, not very welcoming, not very greeting to others. So the meeting gets started, and I sit down. People are getting up, they're talking about their properties, they sit down, and it comes time where the host of the meeting gets up and says, "All right, does anyone else have any other properties they'd like to share? Please raise your hand." And I knew that that was my moment. That was my moment to get up and speak. And I was sitting there, sitting at the table. I was getting nervous. My heart was beating really fast. And all I could think of was the time that I was back in high school, my freshman year, when I went up to share about this poster, this project that I had. And I went up to the front of the room, and I was looking at everyone, extremely nervous, and I couldn't get anything out. I couldn't say anything. And all I thought of was, let me just go sit down. I thought that was the best thing to do. So I went and sat down. They went to the next person. Everything was fine, but I was not okay. I told my teacher after class, I said, please don't call on me ever again to do any presentations, any public speaking, anything of that nature. I don't like that. And everything was fine. I didn't have to do presentations, any public speaking for the majority of high school. Now, here I am a year and a half ago at this real estate meeting, 10 years after high school. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I haven't really done any public speaking. This is really nerve-wracking. And so I'm sitting there, my palms are sweaty, my armpits are sweating. I'm looking around at the people, thinking what they're going to think of me, what they're going to say of me. And that host is up in front of the room, waiting for someone to raise their hand. And I couldn't do it. I decided not to put myself in that fire. I was in survival. I could not raise my hand and get up in front of that room. It was terrifying. And I left that meeting so disappointed in myself. Like, gosh, what's wrong with me? I hit adversity and I could not push through. I was so disappointed in myself. And I got home, I told my fiance I couldn't get up there and speak. I was so nervous. She was like, what? Like, really? Because she didn't see me like that. She never saw me like that. Like I said, anytime I hit adversity, I could push through. But this was one I couldn't. Not on that day. Not on that day. So I came home. I started to think, well, this proposes a great challenge for me. A great challenge for me to overcome myself, to conquer a part of myself that's lacking. So I looked online and I came across Toastmasters. And a couple days later, I decided to go to my first Toastmasters meeting. Now it's 7 a.m. I'm trying to find the office, and I'm walking around the building trying to find the entrance. And meanwhile, the president of that meeting is at the front of the room, inside, saying, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 7 a.m. We're going to go ahead and kick off the meeting. We'll start with any guests this morning. Do we have any guests that want to introduce themselves? And at that moment, I'm walking through the door a couple minutes late because I'm trying to find the meeting. And I'm walking through the door, and he goes, oh, it looks like we have a young man that just walked in. Young man, why don't you come on up here, introduce yourself, and conquer that fear of public speaking? And he puts the mic right in my face. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay? It instantly just hit with all of those emotions, all those feelings that I just experienced a few days before. And now here's my time again to get up there and speak. So I grabbed the mic, extremely nervous, walking up very slowly. Hi, I'm Michael. I went to a real estate meeting, planned to speak, and I couldn't. And I'm here to improve my public speaking. And I hand him the mic back, and I quickly rush back to my seat. Oh my goodness. The relief that washed over me after that moment. Like, oh my gosh, thank goodness this is over. That was terrible. I sat down, watched the rest of the meeting, and it was great because I grew that much. It was progress. It was progress for me, as opposed to a few days earlier when I couldn't get up and speak. I grew that much. And the next week, I came back, I did it again. The next week, I did it again. Next week, I did it again. Every single week, once a week, for an hour and 30 minutes every week. One time a week for an hour and 30 minutes. Pushing myself that much each and every single time. After 6 months, I started giving speeches. People in the club would say to me, wow, you've grown so much, so fast. And I would say to myself, really? It doesn't seem like that. Because I was just focused on this right here. Each and every single time I came, push myself just that much more. Each and every single time. And then I started wanting to take it that much further. Started going to different clubs. All throughout San Diego, speaking 5 to 7 times a week, 9 times a week. Because I wanted to take it that much further each and every single time. To a year after the first meeting, I put on my first personal development seminar. Now, a year and a half later, just did my second personal development seminar. But it didn't even dawn on me how far I had come because I was just focused on this right here each and every single day. And now I'm the president of that club. A year and 4 months later, I became the president of that club, to where I couldn't even introduce myself, to now being the president of the club, to where I am today, sharing this information with you on this journey of personal development, helping others improve themselves so that they can enjoy more of life as well. This is all I do. All I do is think about, how can I get better? How can I develop myself? How can I help others develop themselves? Now that is how I got here. This was me in July of 2022. July of 2022. And 11 months later, on stage at the Grand El Mar, hosting my first personal development seminar. It's incredible, the transformation. I changed so dramatically. But it's because I changed my self-image. I changed through this information I'm going to share with you. That's how powerful this is. Now, this isn't about me. This is about you. This is about how you can learn from me and the things that I'm going to be sharing with you, how you can implement this in your life and change your life to experience more happiness, health, and wealth. Now, take a look at the results in your life. The results in your life. Happiness, health, wealth. How much money are you making? How happy are you on the day-to-day? How great of health are you in? These are the results in your life. Now, the results in your life, you have created the results in your life. Whether you know it or not, you have created the results that you're getting right now. That's a wonderful thing because you have the ability to change it. Your personality has created your personal reality. The person that you are, the food that you eat, the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the conversations you get involved in, the TV shows that you watch, everything is dependent on your personality. It's how you see yourself. Everything depends on your self-image. And that is creating your personal reality, the results in your life. Now, your personality consists of how you think, how you feel, and how you act. That means your personality consists of the thoughts that you think, the feelings or the emotions that you feel, and the actions that you take. It all depends on your personality, your self-image. That is determining the thoughts that you think, the emotions you engage with, the actions that you take. All of this is dependent on that. Now, here you are. How you think, how you feel, and how you act creates your results. How you think, your thoughts, is with your conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the feeling mind. Those are the emotions that you engage in. And the body is where the actions are taking place in this physical reality. And that's creating the results in your life. So if you want to change, if you want to change your results, you must change how you think, how you feel, and how you act. And that will change your results. Now, it's all in awareness. It's all in awareness. Now, take these lines, levels of awareness: animalistic to divine, God consciousness, source, infinite intelligence. Now, you are somewhere on this scale. We want to become aware of our oneness with God, with infinite intelligence, with source. Now, you may be earning $100,000 a year, or $50,000 a year, or $200,000 a year, or $1 million a year, whatever it may be. You may be earning whatever you are earning. Whatever you are earning depends on your awareness. The amount of money that you are earning is dependent on your awareness. You're only earning the amount of money that you are earning because you're not aware of how to earn more. Of how to earn more. Now, say you're earning $100,000 a year and you want to go to $100,000 a month. You must become more aware. You must raise your awareness to think of how you can earn that much in a month. You don't have to think where you are right now. You can think of where you are going, where you want to be, and you can move in that direction and achieve that result. It's all in awareness. You're only earning $100,000 a year because you're not aware of how to earn $100,000 a month. I'm sure you want to earn $100,000 a month, or turn your yearly income into your monthly income. That depends on your awareness. Now, this is going to help with your awareness. It's going to allow you to become more aware. The 7 laws of the universe. Now, most people are not aware of the 7 laws of the universe, but this whole universe operates by exact laws. So it's essential that we understand how this whole universe operates so that we can create the results that we desire in our lives. Now, the 7 laws of the universe, now these are in no particular order. Number 1, the law of vibration or attraction, the law of gender, the law of rhythm, the law of relativity, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of cause and effect, the law of polarity. Now, I want to talk about one law in particular. That is the law of vibration or attraction. Now, this is, in my eyes, this is the law of laws. Emerson called the law of laws the law of cause and effect. But I think the law of vibration is one of the most important, if not the most important, because it's literally determining the results that we're getting in our lives. Now, once you become aware of this law, you'll start to think different. You'll start to act differently. You'll start to feel differently because you're aware of this law. This is a law. Like only attracts like. Now, let's break it down. What is the law of vibration? Now, you may not know of the law of vibration. You may not have even heard of the law of vibration or anything. You may have heard of the law of attraction, right? Like attracts like. You can attract anything to you. Well, what determines what you attract to you? It's the vibration that you are in. The law of vibration states that everything moves, nothing rests. We literally live in an ocean of motion. Everything moves. I want you to take for a second, hold up your hand in front of your face. You see your hand, and it appears to be still. But if you put it under a high-powered microscope, you would see that your hand is actually a mass of molecules traveling at such a high rate of vibration that you cannot perceive it to your naked eye. But if you put it under that microscope, you'll see the molecules moving. So everything, this table, this jacket, this glass of water, everything that you see, everything in this universe is moving. How would a body in a coffin turn to dust? How would an apple go bad? How would water turn to steam and air and evaporate? Because everything is moving. It's either in a state of creation or disintegration. It's grow or die. It may not be like that, but it's constantly moving into form in one way or the other. It's grow or die. And it's happening at such a small amount each and every single day that most people don't realize it. But if you leave out an apple, you'll see after some time, it's going to go bad. It's going to disintegrate. And we operate by these laws. Everything in this universe operates by these laws. But most people are not aware of this. Now, whatever you are feeling is your conscious awareness of your vibration. The feelings that you engage in determines the vibratory rate of your body, of this vessel, this mass of molecules is determined by the emotions that you engage in. The feelings that you feel is your conscious awareness of your vibration. Now, whatever you are in harmony with, based on your feeling, is what you're going to attract to you. It's very simple once we understand. But the trick is understanding. Because I could tell you this right now, but you may not really understand it. And it's going to take you some time to really understand it. It took me a long time to really realize what this meant. Now, the truth about you, not a lot of people know this. The truth about you, I'm going to break it down because this is something we all should know. This should literally be taught in schools. But this is why I'm teaching this. Because I believe everyone deserves this information. So I'm going to do the best that I can to get this information out to as many people as possible. Because this will help elevate your life. The truth about you. And once you understand this, you're going to take the shackles off. You're going to be free once you understand this. Now take these different colors here, different planes of existence. Now we are a spiritual being. We are a spiritual being. We have an intellect and we live in a physical body. The spiritual being the higher side of us, and the physical side, the lower side of us. And it's with our intellect that we can determine the vibratory rate of our physical body and our results. We have the ability to do that through our intellect. Now let these lines represent levels of vibration, commonly referred to as frequencies. Now these levels of vibration, we are a spiritual being, we have an intellect, and we live in a physical body. Now let's break this down even further. Take this glass of water, for example. I have a glass of water. I could drink this water. I could pour it on the ground. It's physical. I can touch the water. It's in a physical state. Now what happens? when you apply a little heat to this water. When you apply heat to this water, then that water now turns to steam, to vapor, starting to heat up, starting to change form. It's no longer this physical water that you can drink. It's steam. Now it's steam. It's changed to a different frequency. Still the same energy, but it's changed to a different frequency. Now this steam, if you apply a little more heat to this steam, what happens? Now this steam turns to air, ether, or gas. It's in a different state. It's a different frequency, different vibration, vibratory rate. It's the same energy as this water. It's the same energy. It's just changing form. Nothing is created or destroyed. Everything is already here. If not in one state, certainly in another. It's the same energy. It's all the same energy, the same source, the same God, same infinite intelligence. Everything is the same thing. Everything comes from the same thing. Now, it's applied a little more heat. Now it's air. You can't even see it, but it's still here. It still exists. Now, through your emotions are vibrations. If you engage in an emotion, it's energy in motion. So through your feelings, through your intellect, you impress these emotions onto your body. It's like if someone's depressed. They're thinking about a situation, they're frustrated about it, it's happened in the past, they can't change it, and they're just upset and they're depressed about it. They are using their intellect incorrectly to put themselves in a negative vibration. We have the ability to use our intellect to change the vibration that we are in, that will determine what we attract in our lives through our intellect, how we use our mind, how we think. This is where our higher mental faculties are resident. Our imagination, intuition, perception, will, memory, reason. This is what separates us from the animal kingdom. We are God's highest form of creation. And it's how we use our intellect that will determine the results in our life. Now you have infinite potential within you. Everything's already here. There's no reason someone else can do more than you. Why is someone doing more than you? Why is someone earning more money than you? Getting better results, happier than you? It's based on how you are using your intellect. And it's all in awareness. It's all in awareness. It's everything. And that's why you're here today, so that you can raise your awareness and start becoming more aware to get the results that you want in your life. Now, Napoleon Hill wrote an incredible book, Think and Grow Rich, 1937, came out, incredible wisdom for the time. Now, he was someone who was mentored by Andrew Carnegie, one of the leaders in the world at that time, one of the richest men in the world. And he told him, are you willing to commit yourself to something that you will not receive any material compensation for up to 20 years? Napoleon Hill answered him in less than 30 seconds and said yes. So he started working with him, started to understand the information he was sharing, because Andrew Carnegie said he did not want this information to go to waste. There's all this information that he's had to make him so successful. He didn't want it to go to waste. So that's what motivated Napoleon Hill to write the book, Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, he says, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So whatever you decide that you want, this dream, this goal, this desire, You can have it, but it's through the awareness that will allow it into your life. Without the awareness, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be upset, you're not going to know how it's going to happen, what you're doing. It's all in awareness. And it's through this information that's really going to unleash you in your life to create the results that you want. Now, science and psychology have isolated the one prime cause for success or failure in your life. The one prime cause. Now, can you think? I mentioned it before. It is the hidden self-image that you have of yourself. It's how you see yourself. How much money do you see yourself earning? What house do you live in? What car do you drive? What relationship are you in? It all comes down to how you see yourself. Your identity. The person that you are. It all depends on the hidden self-image that you have of yourself. Why is someone earning more money than you? Why are they getting better results than you? It's because they have that self-image. It's everything. Remember, you're a spiritual being. We're all spiritual beings. Everyone here. Every human being is a spiritual being. They have a soul. They're a spirit. So why are they getting different results than you if we're all the same? We're all created equal. But our results differ. Our results differ. We're all created equal. We're all the same. We're all the same energy, source, infinite intelligence, God. We are all the same energy. And we are pure, formless energy, pure positive energy, pure perfection, pure greatness at our core. But we want to bring that to the surface. We must become more aware of that so that we can bring that to the surface and express that out in the world and change the results in our lives. And it all starts with our self-image. Now, when we think in images. When you think of your car, your house, your spouse, an image comes to the screen of your mind. Think of it for a second. Just close your eyes and think of your car or one of your friends or your workplace, your boss, your mom, your dad, your dog. Images are coming to the screen of your mind. We think in images. Now, when you think of yourself, what image do you see? What do you see when you think of yourself? Now, this self-image was formed by your past experiences, your successes, your failures, maybe what other people said about you that you deemed as real and truthful, and you resonated with it. That's all it is you're resonating with that feeling. If you have a different self-image, you're not even going to resonate with that feeling. If someone says something about you. But what image do you see when you see yourself? How much money do you make? What house do you live in? The relationship that you're in? The car that you drive? What do you see? Because when we think in images. And this image of you is controlling everything in your life. Everything in your life. Now, in 1960, Maxwell Maltz wrote the book Psycho-Cybernetics. This book was groundbreaking for its time. Now, Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon in the 50s and 60s. And people would come to him, his patients would come to him, and they'd have a scar on their face or their nose had a hook, and they wanted it removed. So he would perform the surgery, and it'd be a success. The scar would be removed, the nose would be fixed. And 95% of the time, people would be very happy with the procedure. It was a success. They'd feel great and they'd go on about their life. But other people, not too many, but other people would have the procedure done. The scar would be removed, the nose would be fixed, and after the surgery, they wouldn't see any change. They wouldn't feel any change. They'd be frustrated because it didn't do what they thought it was going to do for them. Now, this led him to postulate the theory that we have an outer self image. We have an outer image that you see reflecting back from the mirror. But we also have an inner image, this inner self image that's controlling everything in our lives, how we think, how we feel, how we act. Now, Maxwell Maltz said, our self image, strongly held, essentially determines what we become. It's how we see ourselves that ultimately determines what we become. Now, are you like this gentleman in the image here who's wearing a robe and slippers, and he looks in the mirror and he still sees a successful businessman? Or when you look in the mirror, do you see someone who's sloppy, overweight, not getting the results that they want? It all depends on how you see yourself. How do you see yourself? That's what's controlling your life. Who you believe you are. This is everything. Science and psychology. There's only two places that you can go to for answers. Science and psychology. And they've both isolated the one prime cause for success or failure. And that is the hidden self-image that you have of yourself. Now, Maxwell Maltz said, self-image sets the boundaries of individual accomplishment. What you believe you're able to accomplish depends on your self-image, how you see yourself. You will not do much greater than how you see yourself. Your success will never be greater than the image that you have of yourself. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. This self-image is controlling everything in your life. Everything. By the way that you talk, how you walk, the people that you even talk to, the options that you even consider, how you interpret other people's reactions to you is determined by your self-image. Now, this self-image is in the root of your subconscious mind. And it may have been there for 20 years, 26 years for me, till I broke out and conquered that fear of public speaking, changed my self-image completely, turned my whole life around. Could be there for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. If you weren't aware of this, and most people aren't, because it's not generally known. Now, this self-image that's in your subconscious mind is controlling the actions that you take, and that's controlling the results that you get in your life. It's everything. Now, I've put together a program for you to change your self-image. Now, it's simple, but it's not easy. And that's the thing, is that most people don't stick to something long enough to see the results. This is a prosperity blueprint only offer. Now, there's 3 sections to it. There's the understanding, the application, and the process. And this is vitally important. Vitally important for you to understand. There's 3 sections to it. It's the understanding. It's the information I'm sharing with you. 4 powerful lessons and 4 bonus lessons. That's the understanding. That's the knowledge. That's the information. And then there's the application. There's exercises in the program, but there's also a weekly coaching call. Every Saturday, we get together on a Zoom meeting, and we discuss, hey, how are things going? What are some obstacles that you're running into? Some challenges that you have, some difficulties. And we discuss through them to help you implement this understanding, to really change your self-image. And it's a process. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in 2-3 weeks, a month, maybe 6 months if you really take this seriously. But this is a 12-month process. It's a 12-month program for you to really change. It's something that's you're going to have to implement over time if you really want to see the change. Because you can't expect to just watch one video and forever your life has changed. That's just not how it works. It comes through the repetition. And I've understood that through the repetition of ideas, thinking about the ideas, feeling the ideas, acting out the ideas is what causes the change. Now that's the difference. Change your self-image. It's a 12-month program. Prosperity Blueprint, only price of $197 a month. Scan the QR code, go to michaelvincentmindset.com to start the change. This is everything. And the great news is that once you do this once, you can do it again and do it again and do it again. It's literally a foundation for you to create whatever you want in your life forever. I've been working at this program for 4 years. It doesn't even dawn on me that I'm continually doing it because it's the guidelines, it's the principles to create this in my life. Constantly evolving it, constantly changing it. That's the wonderful thing about this program. It's a 12-month program. You'll change like night and day. You'll learn things that were not taught to you in school that are so essential for your growth. But school wasn't aware of this information. That's why you're here now listening to it. So I want to help you. Send me a message on various social media accounts, TikTok, Instagram. Share your comments, your questions in the comment section. Message me. I want to help you. I want to be there for you and talk with you. Even if you don't sign up, whatever it may be, I'm here as a resource and offering to you to better you in your life. So thank you for tuning in. Get the Change Your Self-Image package. Go to michaelvincentmindset.com and I will see you next lesson.